Hello everyone, my name is Notepad Anon and I write games for fun. So what are we doing today? Well, today we are going to be working on Fear and Hunger Forgotten Chronicles again. And from last time, things have made a small advancement. I fixed up most things here, sorted out things in regards to alphabetizing. Other major things is, where are you? Every single one of these have been codified a little bit, as well as I added where are you? The knowledge skill. Knowledge is kind of exactly as you think it is. I needed something else to summarize, hey, I know a thing, rather than, oh, it's just an actions, because there were some parts that were appropriate for the action, like the medicine action, and then there were things that didn't quite work. So I think having the knowledge skill was a compromise, and it works. Actually, actions, knowledge, magics and training. Put in some basic images. I was going to put this image in here somewhere, and I think it works right here for archetypes. Most things are here. Have been fixed up ever so slightly. And let me see if was there anything else major that got changed. No, I don't believe so. However, we are today I'm going to be working on the health system as well as moving into the combat system. The goal, the dream, the hope, and everything else important and nice in this world is to get at least the initial parts of the combat system done, and then as much as I can. However, combat, I've actually been kind of agonizing over combat a little bit just because of how awkward it's going to be due to the nature of fear and hunger in general. The original idea was to base most things off of the basic D20 systems and things akin to that. However, that didn't quite work out as planned. So I'm kind of I'm winging it. We'll see what I can find. I have a few ideas, but here's the basic idea of the health system. The health system is a bit strange because there's effectively two tiers to it. You have your limb-based health, and then you have your health. Your health can be decreased. And over a human has 200 health. And I get hit by magic. I get poisoned. I have a disease. Things happen to me, and my health is going to start slowly ticking down. Now, I could fix my arm, but my health isn't going to come back. But if I lose my arm, my permanent health is going to be reduced. So, my little example here, I take 5 damage to my right arm. I would reduce my arm's health down by 5, and I would also reduce my total health down by 5. Not a big deal. However, if I'm sick and dying and not feeling too hot, my arm could be at full health, but I take that 5 damage and I could still die. The goal here, the dream, is to encourage people to make decisions. Can I risk this much health? Can I, afford to get hit here? Or do I want to pull back? Do I let somebody else take the blow, or do I take it on the chest? And overall, things should work as intended. No, should being the operative word again. But alright, let's get started. So, let's see. Each limb is measured in their body, which reflects that limb's specific current state. All damage based off the limb being struck. When it hits 0, the limb is removed. Every piece of damage the character takes to a limb limb. They also take to their total health. I know I'm gonna have to reorganize this section. It's kind of just really awkward. There's a lot of moving parts here, and I didn't intend on that being a lot of moving parts, but this is my life now. And my life is pain. We like pain here. Wouldn't be writing a game based off fear and fucking hunger if I didn't. So, let's see. A human body is a human of 200 health. A human, and turn the characters. Human and in turn tormented have a total of 200 health spread across all of their body parts. I think my keyboard's messing up because it's not registering sometimes when I hit a key. I'm just hitting it too fast. So, total 200 health spread across all of their body parts. So we want to do the head. One important section of a human being is their head. Without it, they are dead. The brain. Yeah, that's all I can really say there. Yeah. Without your head, you're gonna die. You're dying. Oh God, was it? Oh no, I'm rhyming. Is the worst option. Let's see. Is there a head without it? Dead. Actually, no, we need gut. 50 body. Internal organs. Guts of a human. Make sure. Function. Make sure they continue to function. Being gutted. I'm using my usual setup for the head being the most valuable place to hit. And if you want to kill something, you beat its head in. And other exciting opportunities. Ooh. Oh, did I get a Coke? Well, the gut is your kind of your central health thing there. So overall, every character has about 50 health max if you just take damage straight to your gut repeatedly. But health doesn't restore naturally. It's not like I'm going to walk over here and sit down in my bed and 8 hours later I have full health again. No. Nah. That ain't that easy. If it was that easy, this game would be a lot less threatening. Right arm. The world. But sacrificing one. Let's sacrifice one arm. Keep a head. Keep their head. Maybe. Am I saying that you're likely going to lose a leg or lose an arm in the course of your adventure? Yes, fully intend on you doing that because it's funny. A character is able to... Without one... We'll put the best of them. Without one... Staggers and limps. Without either... They'll be dragging themselves. Dragging themselves away. Suggesting they don't bleed out. And this would be a perfect place to put my favorite image, Fear and Hunger, in a situation I keep finding myself in. This, and I still may switch that one out. Enki with no legs, which is a very common situation. Switch that out with another situation, but that's going to be kind of playing it by ear. Let's see. Also, as I should always state, if anyone ever has any questions, do not hesitate to ask. So we want to meat off the bone. Yeah, we can probably slap an image like right there. Honestly, Guts may not be a terrible option here with his one arm, but we have to move on to being insane. So that was meat off the bone. Let's see. If we're working with mine, would be a good and appropriate one. I know. Body. The light behind the eyes. Mind. Oh, goodness gracious me. So then let's see. So light behind the eyes. As characters delve into the dungeon. Their mind and sanity will begin to waver. The horrors and the oppressive darkness surrounding them. Small things build on top of another. Until there is nothing left but a husk person. Every human characters have a maximum of 100 mind. Their mental state and stress, allowing them to push themselves further, endure punishment, endure pain, push themselves further, and endure the mental fatigue of slowly dying. A character reaches 50 mind, is considered broken and will gain a new fear. That's what I should say. Every character has a fear. A small little part of them that affects everything they do. This fear presides over them even if they think it doesn't. And do we want to commit to the fear and hunger? Fears, hell yes, fear, hunger, fears, phobias, I mean. So, here's our basic phobia, right? What are some other random terrifying fears that we can bring up? Actually, random phobias. All right, so we can put in things like claustrophobia. Let's see. Papophobia. Huh, you learn something new every day. Let's see. Androphobia, fear of men. Then it would be gynophobia, fear of women. Oh. Algophobia, fear of pain. Autophobia. Nyctophobia. Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We need, let's get 7 more fears in here. Ah, yeah, the most trollish fucking word available. Pyrophobia. Let's see. Fear of failure. Spectrophobia, we already have. Phobia, yeah. Chronophobia, panophobia. We'll throw a funny one in there because make the funny. Sharpness. Let's see. Claustrophobia, fear of hell. Judeophobia, pedophobia. It's a good one. Somnophobia, fear of sleep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, we've got 18. Let's see if we get 2 more in here. Actually, we'll keep the trend. We'll do fear of the body, fear of a body defect. Actually, it would be insectophobia. Phobia. Entophobia. Fear of insects. Fire, failure, clowns. God, religiophobia. Religiophobia? Religiophobia. I think that's... What a character. Forced to interact. The target of their fear. They gain a negative 4 to dealing with it. They gain a negative 4 to all actions against it. Should the character reach a mind of 50 or less, they gain an additional fear. Every time. They gain an additional fear every time they hit 50 or less mind. Creeping. It's a creeping factor. Always reducing. Rarely increasing. Unless resources are being spent. Snap 1, 2, 3, and going to snap my back right. Oh, crickety crack, snippety snap. I like it when I break my back. Oh, I have too many. Let's see. What do we take out? We will take out. I think we'll take out aquaphobia, fear sharpness, knives and needles. That can fold itself into aglophobia. D20 for Ren. But if a character were to hit 0 mind, they are lost to their insanity. Fool at best. Becoming a gibbering fool at best. Or whatever. Or deciding to listen to whatever voices in their mind, finally. Or deciding to listen to whatever voices. Oh, God, let's see. Bone, like mine. I should put in hunger, shouldn't I? Yeah. An empty feeling of loneliness. An empty feeling. Dungeon is hostile. The gnawing sensation is as much a mental, physical, and spiritual. It is as much as mental, physical, and spiritual sense as it is simply a hunger sense. Characters need to eat. And go around. Hunger slowly increases. Increases the longer the characters are active. Hunger slowly increases the longer the characters are active, and must be satiated to avoid starvation. Each character, let's see, every character has a hunger from 0 to 100. 0. When hunger reaches 0, starvation has claimed them. At 50 hunger, the pangs are getting worse. Thoughts. Food become far more appetizing than whatever's being eaten. Desperation takes hold, and suddenly anything down there, anything dungeon looks edible, even if it may not be. The character reduces their mind. By... Actually, that's The character will take 3d6 mental, will take 3d6 mind damage, and 3d6 health damage. Every 10 hunger. Actually, let's see. Take 3d6 and 3d6 health damage. Every subsequent 10. Actually, it would be at 40, 30, 20, and 10. They take an additional 3d6 mind and health damage as the hunger gnaws away at them. Starvation has claimed them, and they will die. Actually, at zero hunger. Starvation has claimed them. So, thing is, all of this works together. That's the goal. You're going out there, you need to explore. You kind of have that pressure of you need to explore, you need to go out there, you need to find things. Because if you sit on your ass and do nothing, you're going to starve to death. There's just not enough food to go around. If you explore too much, though, your mind's going to start decreasing. So you need to expend resources. You're going to find resources by exploring. However, anytime you're exploring, you can get into fights. If you get hurt, you're going to have to expend resources to heal yourself. So always this kind of back and forth, and all while you have kind of this accelerant under you of you have to keep going. Because if you don't act quickly, if you're not moving with a hurriedness, things could go wrong. And in an ideal world, in a perfectly ideal world, what I would want is for a game master to build a setting, establish their gods, and be able to run it for the same group repeatedly. Having them learn ever so little more each time. But the situation changes. The gods have different priorities. People are in different places, but maybe they're in the same place, acting the exact same way, but the players act differently. What happens if no one has a medicine skill? What happens then? What happens in all these different situations? That would be the ideal world. Really bring out this chaotic factor. Everyone's dungeon is different, because every dungeon is made differently. But what happens, and what are your fears? What are your problems? So we've got here, so we'll hit this. Yeah, we're gonna throw a big old picture right here. Alright, so this brings us to combat. Oh god, how do we... Combat in dungeon. World was kind and simple. And there would be no... tormented themselves in the dungeon. There would be no need for a dungeon. However, as characters delve deeper, so will they encounter various horrifying entities who want to kill them, who want to do them harm, or simply eat them. As the character encountering an enemy, characters will snap into action, draw their weapons, and prepare to fight for their lives. Alright, so let me actually check something. Alright, so yeah, we're gonna be working on combat right now. What's the goal? Hello, Dars. How are you? Darks. Well, let's see. When encountering enemies for their lives. Phase 1. Determining initiative. Initiative acts as the method. Act in a combat situation. Each character will have a default armor God, what's the how do I want this? Do I want to put in dodge ratings? Do I want to? Okay. Each character will have their weight, sum total of their equipment, of their weapons and armor currently equipped. In a it would be descending order. It would be in an ascending order. Yeah. And then it's I'm going insane in ascending order. Smallest to largest. Okay. I am right. It's usually descending order. So in an ascending order, all weights measured. The lightest character will act first, while the heaviest acting last. If the characters ambush or are ambushed, if someone were to ambush an enemy, they would immediately have an extra, immediately take an action of their choice. See, this is one of those issues where RPG Maker does not help. It's like, thanks, RPG Maker. Because RPG Maker has a very specific idea of what it means to be in a combat situation. Like, this is Fear and Hunger combat. Like right here. It's basic RPG stuff. Because again, it's built in RPG Maker, for God's sakes. I don't expect it to. If someone were to ambush an enemy, they would immediately take an action. Points. Actually, what I'll do is characters. Characters and monsters. Or it's injured. Certain limbs destroyed. May act soon, may act later. In the initiative order. Due to their injuries. To determining initiative. Alright, so now we get to do actions. Actually, I know how I want to do. So I know how I want to do armor. Armor is going to be more of the Rift style. It's going to be a. I have a chest plate on. I'm going to take damage to my chest plate. My chest plate's armor, health, durability, whatever the hell you feel like calling it. It's going to get reduced. So how do I do 2 hit? All right. I know. Okay, we'll assign them a natural survival rating. The rest are character will have a survival rating, which determines ability to dodge attacks and avoid harm. Wearing heavier armor, or being crippled will reduce the survival rating, the SR of the character. The base human survival rating is actually it would be the base human survival rating is 20, being that to strike a character, an enemy will need to roll a 20 or higher in total. However, every piece of armor being added decreases the survival rating. Survival rate, the SR of the character. Actually, what I'll do, quick modifiers to SR. 1 leg. -5 at 1 leg. -5 SR. No legs. -10 SR. If a character were to get hit, they would get hit. They will assign the damage to a limb of their choice, unless the enemy has an ability to specify location of the limb, specified location of the damage, or simply hits everything. Because that's a very real possibility. Say, hey, I have a knife. I'm going to stab you. Oh, okay, I'm gonna get stabbed I'm gonna get sliced in my chest a little bit. Oh no. But it's like, oh, I'm gonna get stabbed with a spear and you're targeting my head. Oh, I get hit, and oh, I'm now bleeding to death. Oh no. Oh no. Every part of the character. Really want to be I'm not too 100% on this. I'm not too 100% on this at all. Originally, there was actually going to be, like, in the original concept, it was going to be every part has a different chance to hit. Because that's how the original game works. In the game itself, it's, okay, it's easier to hit the torso and the arms and the legs than it is to hit the head. But if you take the legs out, it's usually easier to hit the head. So it's kind of a balancing act. And that's half the entertainment value of fighting some of the monsters, is trying to figure out what's the best part to actually take out first. Do you take off the arm? Do you take out the head? Do you focus on the head? Do you take out an eye? You know, it's a puzzle almost. But again, I'm not working with RPG Maker logic. RPG Maker logic supposes a few things I don't really have access to, i.e., an engine, a calculator in the background to do everything for me. What's the answer here? Maybe. Take the SR as the base to hit and then called shots. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put in called shots then. If I want to do the survival rating system, yeah, I'm gonna have to put in called shots. But the idea being, called shots allow you to increase their SR depending on where you're hitting, at the cost of yeah, all right. Give characters kind of a natural advantage a little bit over bigger enemies, but the idea being like an enemy can take off your arm pretty quickly. There's a lot more of them there than there are of you. So, okay, we've got survival rating, determine initiative. We need actions now. Actually, it will be, call it turns and rounds. Combat is split up between individual characters' turns and the entire round. On the entire round, the round will end when the last character's turn is completed. Actually, yeah, last character's turn is completed. Certain effects, such as poison, bleeding, just poison and bleeding, are on a per round basis, meaning that the effects will trigger on the character's turn each round. So this is kind of a double-edged thing, because let's say I act first in the round. Okay, so let's say we have character A, character B, character C, and character A gets hit, and let's say character B starts bleeding. When it rolls around again, character A can cure character B's bleeding, but if they don't, well, they're going to take the damage there. However, if character A starts bleeding, character B and C have to make a decision to attempt to help them. If not, they're going to take the damage from bleeding first, which could potentially kill them. However, tougher characters who are operating lower on the tree, have a little bit more leeway to actually do things. So yeah, that works. Because usually if you're operating lower on the tree, that means you're probably going to be operating a little bit easier. You're probably going to have a little bit more oomph behind things. All right, let's throw on some funky tunes. Yep. Trigger the character's turn each round. Yeah, I can, all right. Okay. Now we get to actions. And it is the character's turn. They're able to perform an action of their choice. Give me... Where are you? Too many projects, lexicon. Tech combat, buttermilk cooking. Do I not have actions in combat? Well, don't I just feel silly? I need to put that in there someday. What's probably the closest thing I have to this? Probably, what, Feast of Legends? Probably. It's a weird thing to say, but yes, Feast of Legends is the closest thing I'm working with. And I've also noticed I don't do many fantasy things. Yeah, I don't know, like, if there's, like, a particular reason why I just don't do fantasy stuff, but I tend to not. Kind of odd. Alright. So let's see. Active ability. Opponent's SR. They are successful. Character deals damage. Deals damage to a section. Their enemy's choice. Flail attack. Up +5 SR. The character the character attacks wildly. Actually, do this. Well, let's actually see what we want. Yeah, I think we are going to need the guard action. Dedicates themselves. To defense. Actually, you know what? Something isn't adding up here. Something is not adding up here. We can do a priority system. That might work. That may work. Because in Fear and Hunger, the game itself, how it works is usually the guard action will always go first. Then the flee action will occur. And then the actions themselves will occur. And this is not really based off initiative or anything. It's just based off of what actions are being committed. So, I want the idea of guard to be, you're dedicating yourself to defense. Yeah, okay. Until the character's next turn. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with that. Another world, I'll use that. Gonna need a few different attack types. What am I? Attack. Hello, phone. Plus X. Towards a. Let's give specific weapons to these attacks. This is always a pain in the ass for these games like these. So, maneuver is the correct one. You don't need delay, I don't think. Other, we don't need refocus. We need tool, obviously. We'll rename that the item, though. Maneuver is usually important. Guard works, so... What am I looking for here? I can see what I'm looking for, but I don't know how to do it. It's a claustrophobic dungeon. You are fighting in tiny-ass corridors and trying to stab an enemy that's twice your size with a fucking dagger. I'm going to dedicate myself to this as of right now. I want to take these away. This section on here. So we'll say specific weapons. Weapon classes. Weapons may have access to different attack types. Different attack types, and then we're going to put in the flail plus 5 SR. Flail loudly with their weapon. Actually, if you have the flail, yeah, we're going to put plus 5 SR. We're going to have aimed strike plus X SR. Limit the target. Move for it. And then we're going to also have things like two strikes, 2 strike. Ah, fuck. Fuck. God damn it. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to keep those in right now. I will have to just brute force that. I don't know how I want to do that. God damn it. Okay. This is fine. Everything is fine. We do not panic about problems. Yeah, most of the things with most of the things with good old fear and hunger here is with the crow mauler beating someone's skull in. Uh, which is a very accurate representation of usually what occurs with crow mauler. Yeah, that's all I can really work with. Fuck. Okay. Probably have to expand out on. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna have to expand that out when it comes to. Oh, I know what I have to put in. I need to put in magic. Paying the. Okay. All right. All right. That's what we're going to do for now. We've got actions done. What else do we need? What else are we needing? Terminal order, turns and rounds. We've got our actions. Effects mostly. Yeah, we'll have to go with effects. So, status fit. Okay. We will add in status effects. While in combat, inevitably the while in combat, inevitably characters. Habilitations. Some of these are tied to specific limbs. Others affect them all over. Some affect them all over. Bleeding. Well, character is bleeding. They will lose. They will lose 1d6 health every round. Or do we put this under its own thing? Yeah, no. Or 3d6 or 3d6 health every room. Blindness. Actually, we'll call it eye trauma. Character is blinded, eyes gouged out, or rendered blind. They are unable to see. And all attacks are at are at into unable to see and have a -10 to their SR and require a +10 to strike any target. Do not get blinded. So we're going to fractured bone. Hunter's limb is broken. Its total body by half. Lose its total body by half. Total body by half. Let's see. Concussed / confused. Actually confused. The character is rendered confused and disoriented. They cannot act on their turn. Infected wound. Wound is infected. They reduce their health by 10 every room until the offending limb is removed. Until the offending limb is removed or treatment sought. Do not get infected wounds. If you get infected, you're going to have to chop your arm off. A fact that I learned very, very so quickly, and it was not fun. Poison. We don't need strong top. Poison. My 3d8 every round. What's bleeding by 1d8? My 1d8 every round. Or 3d8 every room. Parasite worms. Parasite worms. The parasitic worms. Let's see. The character is infected with parasitic worms. All hunger. Hunger is gained at twice normal rate. Character cannot move by themselves until the effect is over. We need trauma. Do not look at this one. Do not look at this little word right here. This is bad right there. Don't look at it. Twitch, please. I'm a good boy. I've done nothing wrong. I'm just recording effects. burning. The characters lit a flame. They take 1d10 damage per turn. They take 1d10 damage per turn, or 3d10 damage or 3d10 health damage per room. Don't burn. Burning bad. Burning very bad. Let's see, they take 1d10 health damage for every action in combat. Every round, increasing the damage by plus 1d10 after the first. And then we're going to put a footnote. 1d10 the first round, 2d10 the second, 3d10 the third, etc. Burning bad. Don't be burned. Burning makes things go bad. Okay. Insert footnote. Remember, kids, do not be lit on fire. Fire hurt. Fire bad. Fire make things go bad, bad. Everyone hurt. Alright, so we've got status effects. Heading to specifically. We'll move infected wounds and everything down below. We'll put a picture there, put a picture there. Okay, we should. And we'll also be able to get some more there. Feel like I am missing something, and I don't know what that thing is. It's gonna drive me completely fucking insane. Let's see. All right. You know what? I think I'm going to wrap it up here for today. we made some good progress. We've got all the way through these sections. This is only, it doesn't seem like a lot, but there's a lot of little stuff here that's all going to build onto each other, and probably on Wednesday we're going to kick our way through a majority of equipment. Once we hit equipment, we can then move on to dungeon stuff. Dungeon stuff is going to be the fun part or unfun part. I don't know yet. So Godspeed, good luck. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.